Here are the 3 must-have people you need to have on your team when launching your midterm rental. This is the foundation and baseline with these people. Remember, it is always who, not how. You should not be driving down to your property. You should not be trying to book a flight. I always typically have a conversation with investors, either who are new or who are seasoned, who just have an attachment issue. As a matter of fact, you can do this out of state and even out of country. So make sure you check out the video that I talk about the 3 must-have products for your midterm rental when launching out of state. Now, who are the who's that you need to have? And who are the who's that are going to know the who's once you need another who? Is that too confusing? Let's take a step back. So first of all, things don't change when it comes. The number one person that you need in the beginning to leverage, to ask for questions, to ask for resources is your realtor. As a matter of fact, if it's not the realtor that just helped you, a realtor will have someone that they know. Now, why do you need a realtor? Well, in the beginning, if you've closed and you actually are not on site, your realtor is going to be holding on to those keys. In an ideal situation, your realtor is also going to be the person that you can ask to put those keys into a lockbox. I referred to this in the video 3 must-have products for your midterm rental state. But I digress. A realtor is key because they're going to be the ones who walk through the property. They're going to be the ones who are either at closing on your behalf, and they're going to be the ones that get the keys traditionally. And if that's the case, you then want to start having a realtor on your team to acquire the real estate asset, to even if it's arbitrage, whatever the case might be. So your realtor is the number one connection you should have. And from the realtor, you should be extracting and asking them questions such as, by the way, do you have someone on your team? Always ask, even if it's not them. If it's them, they'll let you know it's them. But always ask the question, do you or someone in your office, do you have a reference that you could offer me for a cleaner? I'm looking for a cleaner that does essentially Airbnb cleans. They're familiar with that, deep cleans, they do the sheets, etc. You're going to want to ask for specifically a short-term rental cleaner because you want to have someone who has experience with doing turnovers, etc., right? Which, as you can see, is a nice gateway towards the second resource. It's the cleaner, but you can start with asking your realtor for that. And if it's, realtors typically have these portals or these marketplaces or these Facebook groups where they can even post on your behalf. Ask me, like, did you post for a request on my behalf, right? So that's why the realtor is number one. Number two is your cleaner. Your cleaner is your main person, because your cleaner is going to be the person that cleans, does the deep clean prior to a family moving in, does deep clean moving out, and even periodically does a clean while you have an emptier stay. As a matter of fact, we are now including cleans as part of the contract because we want to have periodic access to the property, even if it's a 3-month, 4-month, or 6-month stay, to make sure the property is upkept and holds its value. The thing is, sometimes the negatives of doing long-term rentals is you have a tenant in there for 12 months or a year and there's damage that's happening in the property that they're not reporting and things get worse, and then you find out when they move, or you just find out that they're trashing your property. You don't have a way to actually have a nice reference point that when you do have a cleaner that goes in monthly, you can call things out like, hey, by the way, this is what we saw during the cleans. We really encourage you to turn on that fan when you're showering, or else there's going to be more of those mold or whatever, humidity, or whatever hot. That's just an example of things that you can look out, or things that are even leaking and people don't know. Are the bathrooms running? Your water bill, and wonder why it's going up so high, and they're just not saying anything because it's not their home. They don't treat it like their home, right? So cleaner is really critical to have not just one cleaner, but multiple backups. So that's why you're going to want to go with your realtor. They'll have a few references. You can have those references clean. You can use Turnover B&B. That's an application, but you need a good cleaner. And once you have a good cleaner, you want to make sure you have the conversation with your cleaner about, if you're currently getting value from watching this video, you'll want to make sure you take a second and click below to grab the midterm rental insurance blueprint to help accelerate your process in being able to land these midterm rental insurance contracts with respect to your marketplace. Make sure you click the button below and grab it, and continue on with the gems in this video. Hey, by the way, is your scope only cleaning, or would you be open to doing things outside of cleaning, like, running errands, or if something is missing and I order it and I deliver it to the front door, you restock it, And then just ask, be upfront, be like, and I want to be respectful of your time. If I ever need you to run and like change the propane and gas of the tank, what are your fees for that? What can we agree to up front? That way there is no lack of expectation or communication because you preemptively had the conversation. Typically when people feel a certain way or rub the wrong ways because they haven't had the conversation and they're a little bit blindsided where this is not in my scope. Why are you asking me to do this? Why are you asking me to take out the garbage? Have the conversation ahead of time. They can be the ones that bring the garbage to the curbside and coordinate it. Maybe you have them come periodically, even when there isn't a clean. Just understand what is in scope for them and ask them if something can be added to the scope. Some of these cleaners are actually looking for more work. We have one cleaner, she does trash out. So she has a pickup truck, she's able to pick it up, and when there's excessive trash, and there's a fee for that. So ask upfront for what you can do, what is in scope, what is completely off the table, what is out of scope, because that conversation is going to go a long way and can sometimes eliminate you having to call the third resource, which I'm going to mention, which is a handyman, right? You're going to want to have a handyman. Jack of all trades are nice because there's someone that is a little bit of electrician / handyman, then they can do a little bit of both. Now, obviously, anything serious, you always want to hire the experts. Like a plumber is an expert. So I don't see it as someone on my team. I just see them as someone that's a vendor that we can call, right? Plumbers, electricians, etc. But a handyman who can, handle themselves around the house when something is broken, a lever, or something needs to be screwed in, or whatever the case might be, or closet doors, derailed, and doors screeching, or whatever it is. You want to have a handyman changing light bulbs. Again, you can kind of have a hybrid between your cleaner, what's in scope for them, what's not. If they're handy, maybe they can do some of it, but if not, you definitely need yourself that handyman, aka jack of all trades, right, person. And then you hire the experts for the stuff, right? Like landscaper, that's an expert. Plumber, that's an expert. Stuff like that, right? But sometimes some handymen do landscaping too, so it's really good to know what's in scope. Ask them, right? Because if you don't ask, you won't know. Okay, so those are gonna be the 3 must-have people that you need on your team to run a successful operation. And once you have those people, you'll feel alleviated. The only thing you'll have to factor in is your communication, setting the expectation of, how you communicate. Is it via text? Is it via calls? Some people don't like text. Some people are not good with text. Some people don't read emails. Some people do. So set the expectation for your cleaners. You can also set an auto kind of calendar syncing with your PMS, which send them notifications on cleans, etc. We use Guesty for hosts for that. There's a lot of property management software systems like Hospitable, Hostfully, all those kind of different tools. Just type in property management system for short-term rentals. Essentially, the good news is if you're coming from the short-term rental space, you already have the foundation set and you have an advantage to get into mid-term rentals because you already have the infrastructure and team in place. You just need help with the optimization, which there are plenty more videos on how to optimize to get to the bonus that I want to mention. The relocation specialist is a bonus that I'm going to include here as the person on your team, because while the handyman, the realtor, and the cleaner are going to help you operate the deal, what keeps the pipeline full is understanding how to speak to the relocation specialist, understanding what they need. But more to come later on another video. But now you have the 3 must-have people that you need to have to be able to operate your mid-term rental operation smoothly and effectively. If you got value from this video, make sure you check out what you need to know about relocation specialists as the bonus resource that you'll want also on your team.